What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Taq Evolver. This is a new LMG that came out, I think, half a season ago or something like that, but it just got a big buff today in a surprise patch. So looking at the damage values here, it does 58 to the head, neck, and chest, and also upper arm. So you get this really big upper body hitbox for the same damage value. And then stomach and lower or upper leg are the same, and then lower arm is a different value, and lower leg is a different value. So you're going to very frequently get this upper body time to kill in your engagements, and it just has a really competitive time to kill. So if we scroll down and look at the time to kill chart combination on True Game Data, Taq Evolver here is in red with the actual meta build. The green one is, I'll just turn that off. That's the one we were just looking at with no attachments. Compared to a couple of the other meta options, we have the Ram 7 in orange, and then the Holger 26 in blue. You can see that in the first 0 out to 49 meters, where its first drop-off is, with this build, it's quite a bit faster than the Holger 26, and also a little bit faster than the Ram 7. That's including open bolt delay as well. It has a 30 millisecond open bolt delay, which doesn't always matter, but sometimes does. So I'm including that just to make the comparison fair. And after that, it also is competitive with the Ram out to 64 meters, and then it's a little bit slower, or sorry, competitive with the Holger out to 64 meters. And then past that, the Holger is a little bit faster. But the kicker is that the Taq Evolver has literally no recoil with its current setup. They kind of changed the fire rate, so they lowered the fire rate, and it seems like the recoil was basically left the same, which means that the recoil rate, the amount of recoil per second that you have to correct for, is dramatically lower than it was because the fire rate's much lower. So there's basically no recoil on this weapon now, which means we can build it for bullet velocity and damage range, basically just those two things, as well as firing aim stability, and just have a laser accurate weapon. So let's jump into the game and I'll show you guys how accurate this thing is. Alright, so you guys can see here I'm in the firing range. Let's put it on 3 plates, and then I'm going to shoot the last target dummy, and I'm basically not even going to control recoil. I'm just going to let the gun do what it wants to do. And you're going to see that it has essentially no recoil. I mean, it doesn't even move. It just stays on the target. The first, like, 5 bullets have a very small amount, and then after that, it just literally sits in the same place. So it's by far the lowest recoil option in the game right now, and it has a competitive time to kill. And because we can basically not worry about recoil, because just the default version of the gun has no recoil, we can build it specifically for that. So if we look at the build I've got here, it's going to look pretty weird compared to some of the other stuff we've had for long-range weapons. So we've got actually high-grain ammunition. So this does a bunch of damage range and bullet velocity, but it actually hurts your recoil. This gun has no recoil, so it doesn't matter. The other stat we're going to look at is firing aim stability. This basically reduces your visual recoil and makes your recoil pattern a little bit more consistent as well. So that's why I went with the RIN 03 vertical grip. This has that firing aim stability, which really helps with visual recoil. We're not too worried about the actual recoil numbers, but we do just want that that visual recoil to be reduced. And then we also have a weird stock on here. So a lot of people I've seen putting the Rampart Heavy stock or the Bombardier stock. These both help with recoil a bunch. So normally if you were building this for long range, you would think those would be the choice. But like I just showed, recoil is not an issue at all with this gun. In fact, it basically has none. So we're going to go for the Killanova stock. This has a huge amount of firing aim stability, which means that your visual recoil is dramatically reduced and your aiming idle sway is also reduced. So once that idle sway kicks in while you're firing, it's going to be reduced as well. So this is going to be just make this thing laser accurate. For suppressor, there's a few good options. So this is the one we would usually use. The VT7 Spiritfire Suppressor L helps with recoil and bullet velocity, but in this case, we really just want bullet velocity because the recoil is not an issue. So if there is a muzzle that has high bullet velocity with no other real penalties, it looks like we don't have the suppressor that the other ones have that just does bullet velocity and hurts your sprint to fire a little bit. So I think the best one probably is still going to be the VT7 for this guy, just because we don't have that for LMGs apparently. That honestly, the Shadow Strike suppressor would be okay too. I think that let's see what this one feels like. The HM Res. So this has high bullet velocity, but it hurts your recoil. I'm curious if I can feel that. I would say it does feel a little bit worse with this than the VT7. Like I said, the first like 5 or 10 bullets do have a little bit of recoil, but after that it has none. So I would still recommend using the VT7 over that. So this is the build here. Pretty solid. It's crazy accurate. It's by far the most accurate weapon in the game, and it has those competitive time to kill numbers all the way out. So I think this is going to be for sure the meta for right now. I will do a full video on the entire meta a little bit later on, but I wanted to get this out there today since it just got patched, and I think it's going to be something that you should be running right now in all your games. So if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a sub to the channel, drop a like on the video, and I'll see you in the next one.